when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, oh, feel blessed. I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Feel blessed, feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, We want on that team, look at, ooh, Lord, You've been so long. You got the enemy, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't move from Eddie Dibia. Tell me cause you are a wojo, Namanunga shall make your man. Tell me cause you are a wojo, Namanunga shall make your man. Enti, Miss Ro, and I do go from Biara. Miss Ro, and I do go from Biara. On Nima Kucham. Nyannimu anije Ninu nasina metina. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Feel blessed, feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Feel blessed. We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord, Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu erade se woni mi banko bia ne mabanka se yankopana me de me ho matoso. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again shall you succeed and be blessed. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. He had done this in the Most High, Almighty God, creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. Feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Feel safe, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David did. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, We want on that team who can, ooh, Lord, You've been so wrong. You are in me, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't move from Eddie Dibia. Tell me cause you are Ewojo, Namanum Yashamikirama. Tell me cause you are Ewojo, Namanum Yashamikirama. Enti, Misuro, Anajubo Bombiara. Misuro, Anajubo Bombiara. Anonima Kucham, Anima Kucham. Nanimu anije Ninu sina metina I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, cause your promises are sure. They are ye and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. Can just like David did. We want on that team who can, ooh, Lord. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu eradise woni mi gbanko bia ne mabanka se yankopana me de me ho matoso. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again shall you succeed and be blessed. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. He had done this in the Most High, Almighty God, creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed. I feel blessed, cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, We want on that same can ooh Lord, yeah. You've been so wrong. You got in me, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't move from Eddie Dibia. Joe, me consumer, and would Namanum Yasham Mikirama. Ujao Miko Sua and Woju Namanum Yasham Mikirama. Enti Misuro, and Ajubu Bombiara. Misuro, and Ajubu Bombiara. Anonima Kucham, Anima Kucham, Nanimu Anije. Nothing I'm fearless. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love. Dancing to my gospel song. Fearless. I feel blessed 'cause your promises are sure. They are here and amen. Feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe to let. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. We want on that same can ooh Lord, yeah. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu eradise wunimi banko bianima bankese. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah.
And Chairman, in fact, I actually came to find out about my investments. Yes, my investment.
Your investment. Oh. Sir, considering the micro-inflationary dynamics of the systematic advanced calculated forms, your investment is perpetual towards ratification.
Meaning?
In simple terms, Sikanashi.
Misikanashi.
Don't shout. Swallow it. You care for some coffee?
Make the right choice. Invest with SIMS Stanbic Investment Management Services for capital preservation and competitive returns. Try SIMS today and you will not regret your decision. Stanbic Investment Management Services, your investment specialist.
Hello and welcome to Encore, the Facebook Live platform on which we discuss all things love, marriage, relationship, and what have you. They call me Uncle Whyte, and I am happy that you join us for every episode. I don't take the fact that you join us for every episode for granted, because it's without people like you, this will mean nothing. I'd like to thank. It's always wonderful and joyful to see that there are people waiting for us. It's always wonderful. Today we had about 56 people waiting. So for every one of you among the 56, thank you very much. I am grateful. I also like to thank the young people who held the fort for me last week. What had happened was that I was doing galamsey somewhere. So Efe and KY, Beyonce, and and Akosia and JB came on, and Nana Sase. Nana, thank you very much. So I'm so grateful. I enjoyed that episode. I wish I could move myself away so I could watch them for every episode. So thank you very much. But today we're going to do something interesting, something that I know you would really, really enjoy. But let me just say hi to Tanko. Tanko, good afternoon to you too. I am doing very fine. I'm happy that you are watching us. Gifty, Rudy, we want you. Nibi Rudy, we need you here. Nadu, we need you here. Honorable citizen, which honorable is this? Is this the kind of honorable that brings money? Or this is the kind of honorable that is only fun? Chinosu, I hope I have pronounced your name right. You too, good afternoon to you. Kofi Fifiata, thank you very much. Roina, and then Makai, Jafar, Dinah, all of you, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with us. I appreciate the fact that you join us for every episode. Now, today we're going to, every now and then, something comes up in the media that provides an opportunity for us to learn. One such happened on Sunday, when the interview that Oprah had with Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle came on. It's an interview that had the highest viewers on CBS for a long, long time. 17 million plus people watching it. It beat the number of people who watch some of the awards events for the day. Now, after watching it, I didn't just watch it. I watched it. I listened to analysis of it. I went back and watched every documentary on the couple that I could. And after it, I decided, you know, there's so much to learn here. Not about the politics of it. I am not interested in the politics of it. But about relationships. So my interest in the interview is a very narrow one. I'm just looking at some of the things that came up in the interview that we could take lessons from for our relationships. And that is what we're going to do today. So if you are ready, we're going to do 10 lessons from the interview. And then after that, I'll get Akosia and Adrian to join me. And then we'll go over those lessons. So my lesson number 1 is this. Love between you and your partner is not just enough. There is more at play in your relationship than just love. You know, Harry meets Meghan. They are actually brought together by a friend on a blind date. And then, as Prince Harry talks about it, he says, on their second date is when they realize that there is something here. But now, here he is, a prince, proper British, and there she is, an American, mixed race, and all that. And they thought that the love between the two of them was all that mattered. Oh, no. There is much more at play in a love relationship than just the fact that, oh, we love each other. No, that is not enough. It is good to love each other, but that is not all that is at play. And we need to, young people forget that it is not enough to say, oh, we love each other. No, you love each other, wonderful, good beginning, but there's more at stake, and young people forget that and often think those things are not important, and they pay a serious price for it. Lesson number 2, do your homework about the family you are entering into. Do your homework about the family you are marrying into. Every family has its own issues. Every family has its own stories. Every family has its own, what would you call it? They have their own rituals, their own traditions, and things like that. Every family has its own attitude to religion, to race, even to tribe. And you must know this. Again, remember lesson number 1, I said love just between the two of you is not enough. There's more to building a successful relationship than the fact that, oh, we love each other. You love each other, wonderful, good beginning. But 2, do you know the family you're going into? I was saddened when during the interview, Michael said she knew nothing about the royal family. She never even Googled Prince Harry. Knew nothing about him. And I remember I was talking to Elsie and I said, that saddened me because it reminded me of the mistakes most of my adopted daughters make. They are getting into a relationship and they go into it only with their hearts, not realizing that a successful relationship must have your heart and your mind as well. So do your homework about the family. How did the men in the family, if you're a woman, you must be interested in the men in this family, the family of my boyfriend. How do they treat women? Don't say, oh, but he's different. No, the blood running through him is the blood of that family. His genes are in that family. So he cannot be as different as you want to believe he is. So do your homework. If it is a woman, you are relating to a woman, find out the women in that family, especially her mother, her sisters, how have they related to people, to men. Lesson number 3, understand what you are getting into. Understand what you are getting into. Now that is different from doing your homework about the family you are getting into. Now, in the case of Meghan, she was marrying a prince. It has its own challenges. Whoever you are marrying, you must understand, it is not just marriage, is not just marriage. Oh. The two of you, your background, what you do, your position in society, and the demands on you, all of that come into play. If you married somebody and the person is active in church, it comes with different challenges from marrying somebody who goes to church but is not active. So you must understand what you are getting into. Otherwise, things will hit you and you will not be prepared for them. You are marrying a prince, it comes with its own challenges. I think I've given this example here before about a young lady who said her biggest dream, or her dream in life is to marry a doctor. She was going to marry a big doctor. And yet, there's a girl who wanted to eat breakfast and supper with her husband and wanted to go for walks. Now, I have friends who are big doctors, who are specialists. And I can tell you in one of them, he is on record for being in the theater for 3 days, non-stop. 3 days. Now, so imagine that you marry, you say your dream is to marry a doctor, and you want to have dinner with your husband every night, and you marry, you get your wish, and he's in the theater and he hasn't come home. What are you going to do? So understand what you're getting into. In other words, have realistic expectations. because unrealistic expectations can destroy you. It can mess you up. It can mess you up big time. Lesson number 4. Not all that glitters is gold. Appearances can be very, very deceptive. You know, I'd like you to go on YouTube and watch all the pictures of Harry and Meghan before they left the palace. Before they moved first to Canada and then to the US. And there's none of those videos that you see them unhappy. They are smiling, they are waving, they seem like such a happy couple. And of course, it ties in with this whole thing of the prince marries and they live happily ever after. Well, we know that is not the case here. And it is not the case in many cases. I know of situations in a lot of churches, couples come to church together. And they get down and they walk into the church room, the church hall, holding hands. And the single girls in the church look at this, oh, look at that, they are a beautiful couple, oh, look at them. What you don't know is that just before the car stopped, they were fighting in the car. Appearances can be very deceptive. So don't be fooled. Live your own life. Live life as you have been given. And don't envy anybody. Because you have no idea what that person is coping with and is dealing with. If all you look at is from the outside, oh, you'll be very mistaken. One of my adopted daughters was an admission at Kolebu. And she said her roommate, can you say roommate for the hospital? The ward mate, yes, her ward mate, the girl in the same ward with her, said her ward mate seemed to have this wonderful husband. The man came every day and always came with some gift. Every day. And my adopted daughter's husband never stepped there. Never stepped there. So she said she's lying in her bed and saying, oh God, Namidia, why? Look at such a devoted husband, such a loving husband, and me, my husband, is nowhere to be found. My husband is missing in action. And then finally, the girl is discharged. My daughter is also discharged. On the day she is discharged, her husband comes. Then she discovers the reason why he hasn't been coming is because he has a very sensitive position. There's some crises that had made them impossible for him to do his duty. Takes her home and stays with her. Then a week later, 2 weeks later, she calls this girl, this ward mate, to follow up on her and to find out how are things going with you. And then calls the girl, and the girl is crying and says, oh, what's the matter? I said, you know something? My husband, from the day he picked me from the hospital and dropped me home, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him. I know he's around. I know he's not dead because when I call him and he said, I'll call you back. And won't even wait for me to say why I had called him. And yet, he won't come home. He is with some other woman. Appearances can be very deceptive. Don't be fooled by what you see. A lot of single girls are yearning for marriage because they believe the lie of what they're saying. The pretense of married people when they are outside. You know, in one of the cases that I was made to handle, church board, we closed at 9 p.m. one day, and one of our members said, you guys will have to come with me because my wife has a curfew for me. My wife says if I'm not home by 9 on any day, I should sleep wherever I am. And he said, if I go home alone, no matter how hard and loud I knock, she's not going to open because it's past 9. So can you guys come with me? I said, oh, yeah, let's go. So we go there, and the young man knocks, no response. Knocks, but we know that, you know, when somebody's in a room and it's not asleep, you can always know that the person's not asleep. Knocks, no response. So finally, the pastor calls her, let's say, hello, Akusia, it's me. Oh, pastor! And then she came and opened the door. And when she sees the husband, oh, honey, but you didn't say you came with pastor. Called her honey in our presence. But he was peppering him. So don't be taken by what you're seeing. Number 5, myth is not reality. Myth is not reality. Oh, myth is not reality. Oh, they lived happily ever after. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You work at it. It doesn't become automatic. Number 6, you could be haunted by the ghost of your parents' experiences. In other words, the experience of your parents could be affecting you, and you may not be aware. How does that apply to the interview? Harry's mother was haunted, was more or less driven to her death by the tabloids, by the paparazzi, and that thing had always been on Harry's mind. And so when the tabloids became very negative and hostile towards his wife, and it was affecting his wife that badly, he immediately realized, no, I have to do whatever I can to protect my wife. The ghost of his mother's experience was haunting him. But it is not just in the case of Harry. All of us are being haunted by being influenced by the experiences of our parents. Because you see, there are girls who are hard with their men because they didn't like the way their father treated their mother, and have resolved that I wouldn't let any man ride over me. You are haunted by the experiences of your parents. Or there are also boys who know that their father set up their mother in business, and as soon as she made it, she ignored their father and have decided my wife would have to be a housewife, or she doesn't have to rise to any level because I saw what my mother did to my father. Now, quite often, we cannot articulate these things that are influencing our behavior well, because sometimes the influence is even at the subconscious level, but they are there, and we've got to be careful. So look into your family, especially your parents or the family you lived with, and understand that it's possible that their experiences could be influencing you. And then consciously now decide to overcome them. Number 7. Lesson number 7. You have to be prepared for the possibility that your spouse and your family may not get on well. Just prepare for that possibility. It is wonderful if your spouse and your family got on fantastically well. It is wonderful if you and your spouse's family got on very well. But prepare for the possibility that that may not be the case. And if that is not the case, prepare your mind before it happens. Because we all assume that, oh, I'm married into the family, they will receive me with open arms. What if they don't? Prepare your mind for that possibility so that when it hits you, it doesn't blow you over. Lesson number 8. There are more stakeholders in your relationship than just the two of you. So don't underestimate the impact they can have on your relationship. You know, typically for many of you listening to me, if you are in a relationship, it is possible that all you are thinking right now is you and your boy, or you and your girl. Big mistake. Do you understand? You didn't raise yourself. You didn't born yourself. You didn't you didn't raise yourself to this point. There are people who raise you. There's a name upon you. There are some obligations upon you. You have stakeholders. We all do. Now, this relationship you're going into, the stakeholders, have you consulted them? What did they think about this relationship? How did they feel about this relationship? Because if you do not get a buy-in of all your stakeholders, you are asking for trouble. There would always be unnecessary battles you are fighting. There would always be unnecessary issues that you are encountering. And yet you could avoid all that if you understand that there are more stakeholders in your relationship. And because of that, find out what your stakeholders think about this person you are relating to and negotiate with them to accept her or to accept him before it becomes a marriage. Otherwise, you will have problems. And you must do the same thing with your people as well. So, lesson number 9. Your relationship can come under attack from an unexpected source. Your relationship can come under attack from unexpected sources. Sometimes the people who create problems in our relationships are the people we least expected will do that. You know, I know cases where girls have gone into a relationship because of their friendship with a boy's sister. Or they went into the house, and the way the mother welcomed them and received them, they felt that, oh, will be a good home to be in. And then they get into the relationship, it becomes stabilized, issues come up, and they go to this person who they think is their ally. And then wahala begins. As we say on this platform, matter day. So remember that trouble in your relationship can come from very unexpected sources. Prepare for that. Prepare your mind for that. Finally, lesson number 10. In marriage, be there for each other, no matter what. In marriage, be there for each other. There can be all kinds of opposition. There can be all kinds of challenges to your relationship. The problem is that, unfortunately, in many cases, couples then allow those issues to tear them apart. And then instead of standing together, they now fight against each other and do a blame game. Have you seen what your people are doing? Yeah, my people are messing around, but that is not me. I am not messing around. Please don't let me pay the price for their misbehavior. Couples, when things get tough, close your ranks. Be there for each other. And I like something that Harry said in the interview. He said, I am happy I'm having to voice these things out with my wife beside me. And at one point, they said, both of them said, it is that at the worst of times, they knew they had each other. They knew they had each other. And because of that, they could go on. So if you have done all the things I have said to you today, then number 10, please, you and your partner, become a team. Become a team. Don't blame each other because of what is happening outside your relationship. Become a team and close your ranks. And together, fight your battles as one. And don't blame each other, because otherwise, what you're going to do is that, they said it too. They said I shouldn't have married a Fante man. Because Fante, when you marry them, their mothers come and mess you up. Hang on. You have my love. Don't beat me for my mother's problems. For all you know, I don't approve of what my mother is doing. But she's my mother. What do you expect me to do? So let's close our ranks together and let's keep going. Well, those are the 10 lessons that I picked from the interview that Oprah had with Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex. or the former, because I think they are stripping them of their title. So, and I hope they've been useful to you. Don't enter into a relationship only with your heart. Let your mind also come into play. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Akosia and Adrian will join me, and then hopefully we'll take some of your questions as well. Please don't go anywhere.
Chairman, in fact, I actually came to find out about my investments. Yes, my
investment. You invest. Oh, sir, considering the micro-inflationary dynamics of the systematic advanced calculated forms, your investment is perpetual towards ratification.
meaning?
In simple terms, Sikanashi.
Misikanashi.
Don't shout. Swallow it. You care for some coffee?
Make the right choice. Invest with SIMS Stambik Investment Management Services for capital preservation and competitive returns. Try SIMS today and you will not regret your decision. Stambik Investment Management Services, your investment specialist.
Chairman, in fact, I actually came to find out about my investments. Yes, my
investment. You invest. Oh, sir, considering the micro-inflationary dynamics of the systematic advanced calculated forms, your investment is perpetual towards ratification.
meaning?
In simple terms, Sikanashi.
Misikanashi.
Don't shout. Swallow it. You care for some coffee?
Make the right choice. Invest with SIMS Stambik Investment Management Services for capital preservation and competitive returns. Try SIMS today and you will not regret your decision. Stambik Investment Management Services, your investment specialist.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. We are grateful and welcome back. We've just done 10 lessons that I picked from the interview of Meghan and Harry with Oprah. Let me know what you think. You can also share with us your lessons, the lessons you picked. But I am joined now by the elegant Akosia and by the very wonderful Adrian. Would also be joined by the very creative and resourceful and sweet Effie. I said that she doesn't know she'll be joining us. And so she's comfortably sitting somewhere in the studio. But Akosia,
Uncle,
well done for last week.
thank you.
How did it feel?
Uncle, it felt great. You know, it was after the shooting, and then I realized how serious and well convincing I looked. You know, everybody was like, no, why are you serious? Because I'm really, yes, I got quite a number of calls. Like, Akosia, you were serious. It was like it was a real story you were dealing with. I didn't know that. We were just, you know, but it worked. So
what did David think?
So right there, he called me and I picked, and I knew what was coming. So I put it on speaker. I think Ken and Effie was around, like, whining and Akwesi. I'm like, I beg you, it was just the name. It was just the name that came out. Actually, when we were doing the shoot, it was just the name that I don't know how come, but it was just the name
it's a special
that popped
name
up.
too.
So
It's
I don't know.
name.
I don't have any.
Oh, it's not special to you, but
you know, but it was just a name that popped up, and I used it. So but he thought it was interesting.
Edwin, do you know something we should know?
Oh, then an Akwesi, it's not special to Akosia, but it's special to someone else.
I get you. Yes. So the person actually raised a brow like, no, I don't.
Or you be a
the name just came up.
Yeah, it's a family name.
Yeah.
All right, we won't go into that. We won't go into that for now. But Akosia, you watched the interview.
I did, Uncle.
Tell us what your impressions were.
So when actually Dave told me about it, so I was really looking forward to it. I wasn't expecting anything. So at the back of my mind, I knew Meghan is an actress. So whatever she would come up with would be something dramatic. So I was just looking out for that, And it was very revealing. I was shocked to the bone. Some of the things they mentioned, I was surprised, like, really, Uncle? So tell you what, I have always fantasized about Harry.
Okay.
And he usually comes down to Africa. I don't know. I sometimes get this kind of wild imagination. He usually comes to Africa to come and do some of these charity work. So like, maybe he will come. Before I got married, I was like, maybe he will come to Ghana.
Then he will meet you.
And then we'll meet, and then something will happen. I don't know how.
You become the princess and the duchess.
Yeah, duchess of success.
I don't know how sometimes my mind works, but I don't know whether it's the food I eat. I don't know. So when Meghan started revealing, I'm like, hey, David, I like you like that. I like you like that. Hey, Uncle, I was shocked to the bone. I'm like, I like you, We'll stay here, We'll be in this house, It's okay. I like this house, It's fine. I'm okay, Uncle.
When Bill Clinton came to Ghana, where I live, in my neighborhood, there's this beautiful woman there, dressed to kill.
Whoa.
And passed through my house to tell my wife that she was going to the Independence Square to win Bill Clinton.
Simple.
She was convinced that all she needs to do is to be there.
The eyes will meet.
Somehow the eyes will meet, and Bill Clinton, and something was sparked between them. And she did. She went there, except that she didn't get anywhere
close to the man.
She didn't touch the hem of
Oh, boy.
Well, so Adrian, which of the lessons stood out for you the most?
Two, actually. Do your homework about the family you're marrying into. I think it's something we're losing as it's rooted in the culture in our culture as Ghanaians. That when you're going to marry, they'll send spies to come question about your family. They'll come and do a thorough research about your family. If you guys are sick, if there's some sickness or something in your family, and I think gradually we're losing that. We've lost that. We're losing that.
We've lost that because young people think that all we need is me and
you
and my partner. Full stop.
Yeah.
All we need is love.
Yeah.
And this, please don't underestimate this. It is not about the two of you.
True.
How can you meet a 25, 26-year-old man and a 25-year-old girl and assume that all the 25 years of her life, there are no significant influences in her life, and that you are now the sun, the moon, and the stars in her life? No, you are not her universe.
True.
And unfortunately, young people make the mistake, and then they write off all
everything
those years,
else,
all those people who have meant something, all those people to whom you've come to mean so much. And then you think that, oh, okay, this boy, this girl, that's all. Don't mind them. Hey, don't mind them. Really?
True.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't.
Okay, yes, go on.
It doesn't. The second one really was the last point. Be there for each other no matter what.
Yeah, be there for each other no matter what.
There's something I was telling Ifa about the marriage cord. I say it is you, me, and God intertwining us. When one of the three bonds is out of the equation, you're weak. So when there's something that we have to face together, and we are not in unison, and God doesn't agree with it, we are weak in that situation.
Okay.
We're not as strong a force as we're supposed to be. So it was beautiful to see Harry hold her hand almost the entire interview through.
No, they do it every day. That is not. It wasn't just at the interview.
Yes.
Even when they were cutting, they are very chatty thing.
He did.
Yes, it is the one thing that convinces me that Harry is not a Ghanaian, because I can't see a Ghanaian man. Maybe it could be now.
They kept on taking the hair. Yes, when she wears the dress and the hair gets back. On 3 or 4 videos, he was so
yeah.
you know, he keeps on.
I mean, girl, what's wrong with you?
Charlie, he's all for her, and you know he stands to lose the most.
Yeah.
No, he's lost everything.
Yes.
No, he's lost everything.
Yeah.
You know, and for him
my prayer is that somebody in the palace will make the effort to get this thing back.
Sure.
And get them back. But that is all where we're going. We're learning our lessons.
Yeah,
Leave them.
yeah.
These are, look, I have an issue when poor people cry for rich people. No, I have a big issue.
Oh, yeah. Because they're doing well.
They are okay.
They're doing well.
You are dealing with potholes here.
Yeah.
You worry with your potholes. I only pick the lessons that will help me.
Yeah.
But I'm not crying that much because they are fine. Have you seen the house they are living in?
The house with a customer.
And now you are sitting here and say, no. Efe, yes, what did you think?
So, the institution is always going to be bigger than you, and that's something that doesn't always just apply to the royals or the monarchs of any nation, but the church or the family that you're dealing with. The institution itself will always pose a challenge. And so what I learned was you have to make up your mind whether you are going to fight an institution or leave it. And I think regardless of anything, politically or racially or whatever, it was brave of them to do a number 10 and stick by each other's side and make a decision, because Harry is a fish out of water. This is not someone who has ever had to work because he had to work. He's worked because he wanted to. And so now he's not only in a different country with different rules and laws, but he's a fish out of water here. So that one. And then there was something she said that which reminded me of number 7. She said, I wanted to make them proud. And that made me really sad, because I feel like a lot of people, I won't say women, I think a lot of people are constantly seeking validation outside of the relationship they're in. So you are good for me, I love you, but I really want everybody else around you, the stakeholders, to also be proud of me as your partner. And coming to terms with the fact that they don't like you is a big deal. I can't imagine how Harry felt knowing that his wife wanted to kill herself because of the family's response to her.
Okay, on this program, I'm trying to stay away from discussing their issue. I'm just picking the lessons for me.
So
because if we went into the issue, I mean, because you see, there's a lesson there. Sometimes when we run into problems and challenges, we make a mistake when we personalize it and think they are doing this against me because I'm a girl.
Okay.
They are doing this against me because I'm an Eve.
Yeah.
They are doing this against me because I'm a Fanti. They are doing this against me because They are this woman is treating me this way because she's my stepmother. My own mother will not do this to me. And yet, in many cases, your mother may have done worse.
So that's interesting.
I said that because she's your mother, you will not process it in the same way. You know, now in Meghan's case, it is easy to process it. oh, they didn't like her because she's a mixed race. What about Diana?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
And that is why initially whenever she complained, they said, we've all been through this.
Yeah.
And then Harry said, no, but you are not mixed race to go through this. I'm going through this as a mixed race. And because of that, I think you can miss the lesson there. The lesson there being that, as you and Akosia said, there's an institution.
Yeah.
You know, that institution has a mind of its own.
It's not going to change.
And yet maybe if she was a white and had processed it differently, maybe the outcome would have been different. But we are typically that way. It's the reason why, I'm sorry, lady drivers are mean in traffic.
Of course.
They are mean in traffic because they think you want to bully them because they are women.
Yes.
May you abandon our person who's me.
It's the only time. It's the only time.
Exactly that.
Yeah. So when they do that to me too, why? Is it because I look like a woman?
Well, you know, at the end of the day,
commercial drivers would mess you up no matter who you are. The only person they won't attack are the ones driving very expensive cars. When they know the car is very expensive,
they don't want to scratch it. So
exactly.
And new, expensive and new. No, they will give you allowance. But if you use the kind of cars that some of us use, oh, you are fair game, and they don't care.
But I think that's something we do even on the road. You identify what it is about the other driver that you don't like. So I've sat in cars and heard, hey, Uber driver, hey, taxi driver.
Yeah.
Oh, Uyoba. But no one's ever like, yo, my brother. Like no one's saying that.
But the point is that
so it's like,
all those things are not because Uyoba.
It's just that you are not me.
Yes. And
also
because my mother has a saying that when a driver sits behind the steering wheel and the scent of fuel goes through his nostrils, he becomes a different person. That was the way my mother explained the madness on the road, you know, and we tell you that as soon as a driver sits behind the steering wheel, starts the car, and the scent of petrol goes through his nose, he's a different person. What about them? So, prepare for that because he's not a normal person. But the point I'm saying is that all of us encounter situations that we personalize. And we'll do well if we took ourselves out and do not take it personally. Because once you take it personally, then it becomes very complicated. You know, because then you are making a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
You know, they are doing that because I am this. They are doing this to me because I am that. They are doing this because I'm that. Or even the things that happen in our relationships. He's looking at that girl because maybe I have lost shape. I don't look beautiful to him anymore. No, it may have nothing to do with that.
True.
Or those, okay, so he's cheating on me maybe because my time. No, my favorite story is Miss World's husband cheating on her.
Who else? Who is
how beautiful? No, how beautiful should a woman be?
She's too beautiful.
Yeah, he doesn't want to
Now she's too beautiful.
Too much for him.
Well, yeah, Akusia.
Yeah, Uncle, I think. Oh, if you
I had one more. Sorry.
Okay.
The
go.
stakeholders, Uncle. I don't think that all stakeholders have your best interest at heart.
Okay.
And so there are stakeholders that you have to be aware of just as much as the ones that have your best interest.
Yes.
So there's the ones you should acknowledge because these are people who are important for us to know that they have a stake. And then there are those who feel they have a stake and take a stake even though it's not helpful or beneficial to the relationship. And I think the example there was, she mentioned a family member who changed their name because at the time it was good to be associated with that name. And I think there are a lot of stakeholders that can come in and complicate these relationships because it's like, yes, there's something good in here for me, but my intentions for the couple are not good.
Okay. Now, listen, there in every, let's take stakeholder analogy for a while. In any company, among the stakeholders, there are the major stakeholders.
Yes.
And then there are the minor stakeholders. And quite often, it is the major stakeholders' decisions that run, that hold. You must know who the major stakeholders are, and as for them, get them on your side. And then whenever the minor stakeholders are making life difficult for you, don't go and fight them yourself. Go to the major stakeholder whom you've got onto your side, and let that stakeholder now go and do the fight. Let that stakeholder go to the other person and said, what has my son done to you? Back off. So it doesn't become like you went and did it, because then this minor stakeholder then gets the support of the major stakeholders against you.
True.
And says, hey, David, you know, oh, Mushe, the thing she came here to say, you know. And I always say that for instance, when your mother-in-law is being obnoxious, comes to you and is being difficult and obnoxious, it is not your place to confront her. Get your husband to do that. Get her own son to do that. And even with her son, it is good if the son can also go to his uncle, your mother's brother, or your mother's sister, and whisper to them to call their sister and talk to. Stakeholder. Because maybe when you go, my son, the woman has bewitched you. The woman has bewitched you. And then that becomes a whole different level. But if her own sister or brother calls and says, I hear you went to Adrian. What did you go to do? Usubani, stop this. Let's allow them. Then she, her fight will be, what has Adrian come to do, say to you, and things like that. But she can't come back to you and fight. So let's be wise in the way we navigate these waters, because relationships, in everything in this world, they are treacherous waters.
True.
And when you are sailing treacherous waters, you can't insist that the treacherous waters turn around and become calm.
Yeah.
They are treacherous waters. They can't be anything but what they are. Now it is your responsibility to be wise enough to find the ways of navigating it. So there aren't too many difficulties. Yeah, Akusha, you were going to say something.
Okay. So, Uncle, I think.
Oh, by the way, Kwabena Tracy, Beyonce Yabua says I should say hello to Kwesiche in Germany. So Kwesiche, I hope you are aware that your brother has a crush where he shouldn't go. Okay, I'll go.
So, Uncle, today you really opened my eyes to something I actually didn't look out for when I was watching the interview. So whilst I was watching the interview, there was a time I was emotional, there was a time I got angry. But I remember at a point, I was like, this girl is so manipulative. How can you really take a whole prince and then bring him to Canada and take him to US? Look at what you've done, But today, your number 10 actually spoke the word. It was just the rhema, be there for each other in marriage. And I think that was what happened, So it wasn't Meghan manipulating the prince. It was just because they were there for each other, and that whatever the wife decides to do, if he thinks that it would work perfectly for them, then they are going all out, and to achieve it together. So you opened my eyes with the number 10.
Nana, there are no nice in shining now. Again, appearances can be very deceptive. Again, I do not want to discuss the substance of that, because that is not what this platform is. I'm just picking the lessons that could help us. But I am also not crying for them, because these people, even at their worst, they are better off than some of us. Even at their worst, that you say, they've lost everything. They've lost everything. Look at their where they are. But Nanaraba, if you want to fall in love with Harry, Nanaraba and Akosia, if you want to fall in love with Harry, I'm going to give you something that will make you fall in love with him even more. Go and watch the trip he took through California with James Corden on an open bus. Go and watch it, and watch it to the end. Especially watch the last few minutes of that and you'll fall in love with Harry all over because he's real. You know, that's the thing about him. He's so real. But like I said, we're not discussing them. Yeah. Adrian.
Yes.
Having watched this, if you had a daughter who is going to get married, what would you say to her? No, wait. Are you laughing at the prospect of being a father of a daughter?
Yeah, because just this afternoon on my SS page, a few of the guys have given birth to daughters, and us, the fathers with sons are saying, "Hey, we'll kill your daughters with our sons." And we've been laughing at them, and they're asking some military man on the page to organize boys for them at their homes. So it just brought that to mind.
Oh, Nanaraba, no. The fact that we don't like touch doesn't make us cavemen. Oh, no. Nanaraba, no. Cavemen? No, cavemen, we have sex with you and we'll kill you. Mm-hmm. We hit you on the head with a club. That is romance. So please. Yeah, let's go on.
Well, I'll start with the myth versus reality points that you gave. A lot of women I'm getting to know that fantasize a lot about marriage and what it's supposed to be and build certain expectations, and I'd love her to know that the reality would be so different, and that she should not just manage expectations, but just go with such an open mind that be prepared for everything. Yeah. Be prepared for everything and build yourself emotionally and equip yourself well for the journey, because it's not as easy as I love him and I want to marry him. Like you said, love, even in the scenario that we used, has become the least currency that their marriage is running on right now, and that should be what we should all have in mind, that there should be other place that you should fortify yourself aside just feeling those butterflies in your stomach for the person.
Yeah. Efe, if Meghan was your friend, what would you say to her?
Wow.
Black Lives Matters.
Say that again.
Black Lives Matters.
Before getting married or?
No.
No. After. Before getting married, I'm sure we'll all be excited.
After marrying Harry.
I'm sure all her friends were excited that, hey, you're going to be a princess, you're going to be a princess, you're going to be a princess.
You know,
that is why, did you see the A list of invitees, of the people who came to the wedding?
Yeah.
And they were going to a princess wedding, royal wedding.
There's something about the excitement when a commoner marries into monarchy.
Yes.
And in our lifetime, we saw Diana. We saw in Australia. We saw Princess Mary, of Denmark.
Yes.
And she was an Aussie girl. And in her case, no one knew about the Danish monarchy. So when she met him, it was just a normal guy till he told her later that I'm actually a prince. And she was like, what? And it was fairy tale. However, for me, I guess because of seeing all these examples, I didn't think it would be rosy. And so I think the battle comes from one of the points that you raised, and that's something that I wish she would have done, which was more research to understand what she was getting into. Okay. And for a lot of us, I think that's it. Really know what you're getting into, because it's not just you and the person. It's every single other person, blood or not, that they come with, that will make the journey easier or harder. And then you'll be able to make an informed choice. What do they say now? Choose your heart. Like, decide, do I want to be without this person, or will I want to be with them through that battle? But I think it's easy to say now. I know if I had known her, I would have been like, yo, this is not going to be an easy ride, because even the restrictions on what you wear are enough. And there are families who are not monarchs that can restrict you that way.
Yeah. You know the first conflict she had with the establishment? She wore, when they were dating, she wore a necklace with HM on it. And some officials at the castle, when they saw it, said, you can't do that because the two of you are married. So you can't do this.
Yeah.
Go and change it. And said, I won't change it. And but like I said, I'm not going to discuss that because I've done my homework. But this platform is not for that.
Choose your
heart. So we would stay away from that. But Hadi is saying some very interesting things. Hadi says, I honestly believe that love, genuine love, is always enough. Hey, Hadi. Hadi, please spare yourself.
Please.
It is the mentality of youth. So when you meet somebody like me, learn. And don't just go with your ignorance. Because that is what it is. What is genuine love?
Uncle, you know what? To be honest, I feel like honestly, these days, I feel like marriages could work better if they didn't have romantic love. Marriages would work better because everyone would be logical. This is why we like each other. This is what we're in it for. Once the butterflies and all.
No, she's not even talking about romantic love. She's talking about genuine love. And see,
which is
those things are often a figment of your imagination. Yeah, that, oh, he loves me. Who on him? Who on him? Yeah, true. How do you know he loves me?
True.
Because he bought you flowers?
True.
I love him so much. Really? That what we have is genuine love. Really? So, if it's genuine love, why are you crying that he has found another girl and he's cheating? Because genuine love accepts all things.
Everything.
Do you understand? So you use terms you don't even understand.
You should also love her.
Yeah, exactly. Because genuine love, if your partner is cheating on you, genuine love dictates that you find out, oh, are you happy with her? Oh, then I'm happy you found somebody who can make you happy.
But you will not do that.
We can bring her home on Sundays.
Yeah. And, oh, please, don't kid yourself with terms you don't even understand what they mean. Don't. And I've said on this platform, if you disagree with me, it is your right. But I wish you wait till you are 67. Then come and argue.
Somebody's
we'll be online searching for the video.
Then you would have earned the right. Otherwise,
I was like, what?
The position you are holding right now, I guarantee you in 5 years of marriage, you will change your mind. You know, you will be like one of my sons who says, anybody who tells me I'm going to get married, I'll beat him. Jamie, good afternoon.
Oh,
Yes, Uncle, give me your closing remarks.
So, Uncle, I would say that luck isn't enough. So when Kate got married to the elder brother, I was like, wow, she's such a lucky girl. Look at her, she got to marry this. Then Meghan came in, she also married him, and like, wow. But now I know luck isn't enough. It's after you've got it, you have to work towards it, and it's hard work. So should my daughter come to me and talk to me about this, I'll tell her that luck isn't enough. You can get the best man, the most fantastic man, but you have to work. You have to work towards it, and then to achieve something. Yeah.
And Soma, you heard your mother.
Bobo, thank you.
Bobo, thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank you. Our time is up. I'd like to thank you for staying with us. Once again, I'd like to say thank you to Efe and Kobina, Beyonce, Yabua for holding the fort yesterday, last week. I'd like to thank the wonderful performance of JB and Akosia as a couple. It was a beautiful thing to see. And I think it was so good that we would have to work and ensure that for every episode, we'll have the two of them on doing an night.
Mr. and Mrs. Hayford.
And to Nanasa Say, who came on, thank you very much. To Ken, who ran in to make some comments and ran back in there, thank you. To the whole team, Thank you very much. To Bernard, to Believe, to Kwesi, who is getting better and better and better with technology. Thank you very much. But most importantly to you for staying with us. You make it worthwhile. God bless you, and please remember to stay safe. We'll come your way again. Our next webinar is on the 28th of this month, and we'll be treating trust, when trust is lost in a relationship. That will be for our webinar on the 28th of this month. More details will be given in the coming episodes till then. And then our next streaming of a play is a play called Men Run, Women Cry. It's one of the Akosia is in there.
Yeah, I can't wait for
Akosia is in there. It's in that play. But again, we'll give you more details. Stay blessed. See you.
Chairman, in fact, I actually came to find out about my investments. Yes, my investment.
Your investment. Oh, sir, considering the micro-inflationary dynamics of the systematic advanced calculated forms, your investment is perpetual towards ratification.
Meaning?
In simple terms, sikanashi.
Misikanashi.
Don't shout. Swallow it. You care for some coffee?
Make the right choice. Invest with SIMS Stambik Investment Management Services for capital preservation and competitive returns. Try SIMS today and you will not regret your decision. Stambik Investment Management Services, your investment specialist.